Christina, is that Bellevue Park?
Yes,
Behind
it is. It is, yeah.
That's a really nice background.
Thank you.
There's Earl.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Earl.
Hi, Earl.
Hi, Jill.
Okay, so here's. Okay, oh, it's not reading the first page. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. We'll do this. The first page did not upload, but this is more the agenda. So we'll leave it on this page.
Debbie, you tell me when I can start.
Okay, we are ready to go, Joe. So whenever.
So I'm calling the meeting to order at 2:02 p.m. And Debbie, if you would take roll.
Okay, Joe Demore,
Here.
Earl Huff,
Here.
Bobby Harris,
Here.
Jim Woodward,
Here.
Councilmember Russell,
Present.
staff, we have Christina Underhill,
Here.
Allison Boyd,
Here.
and myself, Debbie Severa. All right, thank you.
Thank you. And are there any additions to the minutes of February 3rd, 2020? And then we would need a motion to accept the minutes as of February 3rd, 2020.
I'll motion.
Second. And we'll need a second.
I'll second it. I thought I heard a second.
I didn't quite hear it, but maybe we did. And is there any discussion? And then all in favor, say yes.
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 Yeah.
Opposed? And then motion carried. And then we have something on the agenda that I don't think we've had before. It's recognition of public comment. And Debbie, were there any public comments that we needed to address?
No, we are doing that in place of scheduled, unscheduled public comment. So we have not, nobody we don't have anybody present, from the public that would like to address
Okay,
the board, so.
yeah, thank you. Let's see, under new business, the pandemic city response, uh, Christina and Allison, I believe you're going to address that.
Yep. I'll start and then I'll pitch it to Allison to go over what we've been doing at the centers and go over all of that. But right now, we were able to open up Pirates Cove in June to have a summer season with them. We've actually done all right there. We thought we'd have a significant revenue loss because we were limited in how many people we could allow into Pirates Cove for the summer. And so we broke it up into 3 time slots throughout the day, limiting individuals coming in to only 250 people per time slot. That park typically in a day sees 1,600 people. So we've limited it to 750 total through the whole day, but we're doing okay. That park is going to stay open until Labor Day as long as nothing changes and we don't see COVID cases on the rise here in Colorado. So far things are looking good. Our library has been open for a little while doing curbside pickup. So if you wanted to check out books, you're able to do that. And then the library staff bring the books out to you in the parking lots. And we just last week, actually 2 weeks ago, opened the library to computer-based appointments for 1 hour. So people, if they need to get onto one of the computers to do work or whatever it may be, they're able to go in and do that for 1 hour. And again, that's appointment-based. We're gonna stay with that for a while. The library's not opening the doors just to let everybody in just yet. We're working with Denver Public Library to kind of mirror what they're doing. Our fear with Inglewood Public Library is because we're on the light rail system, if we were to open and no other libraries in the area were open, we would get a lot of people into our library. So we're being very cautious. The librarians spent the whole summer pretty much cleaning, so it's very clean library now. Carpets to the books, the shelving, everything has been cleaned. As far as the parks are open for everybody to use. We do have limits on our reservation systems. You can only reserve picnic shelter for 15 people total. So some of the big graduations or birthday parties that may occur haven't happened this year in our park system. And then both the Inglewood Rec Center and Malley have been open to the public to come in and use the centers. And I'll let Allison update you on how that's going. Everything that they've been doing is precaution, cleaning. We have variances that allow a certain number of people into our facilities, and we're trying to stay under that to keep everybody as safe as possible. So I'll give it over to Allison. She can talk about both the rec center and Malley too.
Thank you. So at Malley, we opened Malley and the rec center at the same time, May 18th, which was a Monday. We reduced the hours and obviously reduced the programs based on the orders that we had with how many people we could let in the building. So right now at Malley, we have about a dozen people that can work out at the same time down in the fitness area. And we did move 4 or 5 pieces of fitness equipment into one of the classrooms to just help with some of the spread there. We still have Marty coming in the morning. He's a fitness instructor that helps kind of keep people during our busy times separate, and if they need any help or anything like that. He also cleans and wipes down things and helps patrons. From about 8 to noon, we have somebody in there. So that's been going pretty well. So people are very happy that we're allowing them to come in. And then we do allow the computer checkouts for the laptops. So we do have some people in the front checking emails, applying for unemployment, and if they need help and questions and things like that. VOA lunch never stopped. We still have a takeout program going on, and we'll probably continue to do that for the time being. That's a pretty high risk group that comes in there for the most part. But we are making sure that they're getting fed and are happy, and talk to them and hit that social aspect. Pretty much the same thing at the Inglewood Recreation Center with all the fitness areas are being used. We do have classes operating at both centers, a lot of virtual classes. We had to learn pretty quickly on the fly how to use cameras and get all that information out to people so that they could still continue to work out. And we're actually, a lot of people still like it. And even though we have offered some classes to live, we have lots of people still using the virtual component like this so that they can be safe in their homes. And we're happy with that. So we're able to do both. We started Pilates a couple weeks ago, I think, and that was good. So again, put some of the machines away, spread people out, making sure people are wearing masks and all the safety things. The way the times are set up as well, we have a period at both centers where we're closed completely and we do a pretty thorough cleaning within that time. Still have to have a reservation to come into the centers, so we know who is in the center and what area typically they're in. Mally is 1 hour reservations and the recreation center is for 2 hours. And the pool is very popular, especially with that over 55 crowd. The busiest times over there are in the morning. So we feel like we're giving people the opportunity to be fit safely. And lots of people, again, are not choosing to come. There's quite a few programs that we're not going to run this fall, and we're still not sure when we'll start them up. Our trips and excursions and hikes and things like that, we're not going to put people in buses and just yet. We'll wait until it's a little bit safer to do so. Pickleball and table tennis are not happening right now. That might change once the weather gets a little colder, because now people can go outside and play. Maybe not table tennis, but pickleball for sure. We did cancel our fall sport programs, like adult basketball and volleyball. Senior volleyball starts up in the late fall, kind of in the fall. So I know that group is not planning to play right now, and we don't have any organized sports going on right now. So we're taking a pretty slow approach to opening up the centers until, probably for the next couple months, we'll kind of status quo with what we're doing. Just trying to work on that virtual component and reaching people and listening to what they need. So that's kind of it. Did I miss anything, Christina, that you can think of?
I think the biggest thing is through COVID, we've learned how to clean very well, and all of the staff are on board, and that's been our number one focus, just keeping the centers as clean as we can. And we kind of joke that our centers are probably much cleaner than a grocery store at this point.
Yeah.
And really encouraging everyone to wear masks while they're out and about, and especially visiting the centers as well.
Yep. That's about it. There's a lot more, but that's the gist of it.
Can I ask a couple questions?
Sure.
Pirates Cove, Christina, is that pretty well filled every day?
Yeah, they're doing very well over there. They have each time slot allows for 250 visitors to come in, and the first 2 time slots, the 10 to noon and 1 to 3 time slot, are usually sold out. The 4 to 6 time slot, depending on the day, depending on the weather with the afternoon thunderstorms and other things going on, some of those days we haven't filled that last time slot, but for the most part it's staying very popular. We found out that some of the high schools here aren't starting for a week after they had initially said they were going to start, and many of our lifeguards we lose. So we go to weekends only for that reason. While we're able to extend being open during the week 1 more week, which should help with visitors being able to come out to the park for a little while longer. And that'll also help it on the revenue side too. But again, we'll be closing the park for the season after Labor Day.
Okay, so to make a reservation, and I guess I'm personally asking this, how much in advance does one have to sign up for a reservation?
Sure. So if you're an Inglewood resident, which you all are, you get 3 days in advance to sign up. If you're not a resident of Inglewood, you can only sign up 2 days in advance.
Okay, great. And the second question I had was, I've seen 2 different youth soccer teams out, what appeared to be practicing, one over at Bates Logan, and I'm trying to remember where the other one was, but has youth, I mean, do we have something, or not Parks and Rec, but do any of the youth groups have actual organized practices going on in Inglewood?
We do, yes. So Tri-County Health and actually Arapahoe County gave the thumbs up to allow organized sports. We've been cautious on the city side with our own programs, but we have a lot of outside groups, Inglewood residents or not, who utilize our parks for practices. So we've been allowing them to rent our fields for the season to have their practices, but they're limited to 25 people per practice. Coaches, parents need to wear a mask. We're encouraging everybody to wear a mask, but we know it's somewhat difficult to run around with a mask on. So the players themselves don't necessarily need to have them on, but we are allowing it. And for the most part, we're finding that individuals are complying with keeping it to 25 people and separating and spreading out as much as possible where they can.
Yeah, that's what I observed. I mean, they were doing it properly. I was just wondering who they were.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, are there any other questions for Christina or Allison?
Joe, I will add that we're having an ice cream social at Malley next week. It's next Wednesday at 2. Very socially distant outside. Andy's Custard is donating a lot of the product. So we're just allowing like a dozen people at a time spread out in the north part outside at Malley. You have to have a reservation and whatnot. So just people have to just call the center to get registered for that. So trying to hit some of that social aspect and get people out.
So along that line, are we pending with like the Oktober Fest luncheon? We're just kind of by ear, or has it been decided at this?
It hasn't been decided yet because we're trying to figure out how we can do it in like the parking lot, like do brats and things like that with some tables. It might be too much though to do. So we haven't really pinned that down yet because we think we can do it safely outside, but we'll just have to see how that works with logistics. We are going to cancel the bazaar though, and that's in November, but there's so much planning and whatnot. I sent that to Cheryl today and just said, I just don't think there's any way to do that. And the variances probably won't change anyway, and that brings so many people. But
yeah.
So lots of the events won't happen.
Yeah, thank you. Probably a wise decision.
Yeah.
If there are no other questions or comments, then we'll move to old business. And let's see, I'm just going to bring up, we had the plan giving brochure that was introduced six months ago. And at this time, are we to do anything with that? Just doing anything with it in terms of a mailing, or is it, there's just been too much else going on? Yeah.
I kind of both. We're going to plan a mailing, and then there's been so much going on that we've kind of held off on it. Yes. So we can revive that moving forward a little bit. Just the timing of that, asking for money in a sense, doesn't seem the right time. But Julie Madden and I were talking about that. Boy, it's probably been about a month and a half now, and we just kind of got lost with that. So we'll keep that on our next group of thinking about mailing that out. We do have them available, so they're printed and out.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And can anyone think of any other old business that we should address?
I have a question probably for Allison. The attorney that we had at the February meeting, he was going to come back and I think, let you or somebody know about some questions that we had that came up during the meeting. I
Right?
don't remember what the questions were, but I was just wondering if he got back.
Yeah, I think he sent out an email because I remember getting some information. I'll make sure you get that, and if I'm mistaken, I'll find that because I do recall that as well. But I do know that he sent something back to us. But I'll get it to Debbie and she can get it out to everybody.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions before we move to the trust fund financial report? Okay, so under 8A, Allison, would you care to address that?
I think Debbie's trying to work on getting it on the screen
Okay.
here.
Okay.
As you recall,
Yeah,
we have that.
one-
Go ahead, Debbie.
That one didn't upload either.
Hmm.
So let me,
I think I have it here. Let me see.
and I can go into my files.
I would be happy to hold it up if anybody.
Hey, that might work. Pretty clear cut, I guess. 382, 269 and 12 cents is the fund balance at the top, and then the interest there of 6,744 and 68 cents for a total of $389,013.80. As you recall, we did get that large donation at the beginning of the year. I think it was about $140,000. So the fund is at that 389,000 total.
Okay.
And it looked to me that everything, had been applied to it, any expenses or all the revenues and everything. So, yeah, and that comes out quarterly, this report to us. We don't get it monthly.
Okay. Okay, good. And let's see. Under 8B, we did, and Christina, did you want to, excuse me, before I go on, are there any questions for Allison regarding the trust fund financial report? Okay, so moving on, Allison and Christina, would you with us anything else regarding any other developments regarding parks, recreation, and the library?
I've only got a couple, and it's unfortunate due to COVID. We've had cancellations, obviously, with special events. The block party that's an annual event in the fall has been canceled for this year, just as the 4th of July was too. We are offering drive-in movies here at the City Hall campus, back on the large parking lot, just on the south side. They're allowing 70 cars. You do have to make a reservation. This Thursday, they're showing Grease. So we are having special events, but they're nothing like what we've ever had in the past, unfortunately. And that's just obviously due to COVID. So that's my only other update.
Did you fill up on that first movie?
So we sold out 70 spaces, but only 45 cars actually came to the event. So they've learned from the first one and made some adjustments. I think they did take a waiting list. I came out and helped park cars with people, with other staff, pointing to where to go. And we did have some individuals that just drove up hoping to get a spot. So I think what they're going to do for those people is just give them take their phone number, and if you have spaces still before the movie starts, give them a call, and if they want to come back, they can see the movie. So we've made some adjustments with it, but yeah, unfortunately, we're finding with even some of our reservations you have to make for the pool at ERC or class reservations, people aren't showing after they've made the reservation, which is somewhat of a challenge because we know there's people out there that do want to come. And so we're trying to do the best to accommodate everybody as best as possible.
Well, I read a lot of real positive things. In fact, I saw nothing negative about that first one.
That's
And
good.
How do you, is that through an FM radio signal or something for the sound?
Yeah, it
So-
is. So the movie company provides that. And I forgot the station for the movie, like 93.8 or something like that. But yeah, you just tune in through your radio and you can hear the movie in your car.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
We had, for your information, the big drive-in theater here for years, directly across Santa Fe from City Center,
Okay.
Cinderella Twin. And that was replaced by the apartments, so.
We're trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I have a couple things. If you haven't been to Maui lately, the marquee is working now. So we are able to message off of that marquee. We had kind of a slowdown once COVID started, and the Recreation Center one is operational now, and Pirates Cove was operational first. So it's really nice that we're able to put some messaging out there. It's not too bright. We haven't had any complaints, so that's really good. And we're able to manipulate that pretty well. The Citizen magazine that usually comes out in the fall, the city switched out and did a pandemic issue, which should be hitting some homes. I think some homes got it on Saturday. And then there's a second mailing that's going to go out. And Bobby, I typed in your address and your name myself in that list. So if you don't get it, you better tell me.
That was going to be my question. Could I pick it up at home?
Yeah, I put you in there myself, so you should get it.
I did get mine on Saturday.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good. So it's a really nice issue that doesn't have a lot of program information, but it has a whole section about what the city's doing and recovery and all sorts of neat programs that are going on in the city. Kind of a we care about you issue. And then the recreation, parks, libraries, and golf section is kind of the same thing about what we're doing. And some of it, of course, we went to print and we're not doing that anymore or whatever. So we try to make it as relevant as possible. And it does look like we're going to do that again, that same type of issue for the fall moving into the winter, just to keep people informed about what's going on in the city and all the changes and things that council and the community is doing. So that's pretty exciting. Shelley caught me right before this meeting and said in the Englewood Herald today that the Pilates studio here at Maui was voted as the best in Englewood or something like that. So I'll have to find that. So that was kind of cool. So we need to do a little more work in there on the floor, but that was kind of neat. So I'll pass that on. That was awarded that prestigious honor.
Allison, do you have those at Maui Center?
We do. We moved all the Pilates reformers over to
No,
Maui.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. The guides?
The guide, right.
They should be delivered today. I requested from Chris the numbers that I needed, and the printer was going to deliver them instead of us picking them up. So I'm not sure what time they'll be here, but I can let you know when they're here.
Would you mind? I haven't received the last two.
Okay.
And
it's so weird.
usually
Okay.
I get them, but I don't think anybody on my block received one last time, and I'm guessing it's the post office.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
I grabbed the mailman last time, my mailman, and I said, "Where are our magazines?" Oh, we ran out over on Monmouth. So, and
Okay.
about 20 minutes later, he came back and gave me one.
Oh, good to know. We did change printers this time, which it's just the printing, but they also handle the mailing with the postage and all that kind of stuff. So they're probably following up with where those extra bulk magazines are. And I'm glad that you got one, Bobby, because I can't do that again with you not getting one. Jim, I'll make sure you get one though.
Okay, yeah. If you send me an email or whatever, I'll
You bet.
come. I'll make a reservation and come and get it.
Okay. One of the other things,
I was going to
Yeah,
say, a few years ago, we did have a problem with, I think it was a Malley trust fund mailing where things were found in a dumpster.
Yep.
So,
it happens with that bulk rate. It's not good.
yeah.
In regard to Malley, we won't have a fall closure at the rec center. And some of the work that we would have done at Malley in the spring, we were able to complete everything. So the only big project we really have here at the recreation center at Malley is getting the gymnasium floor refinished. And it's pretty much an overlay. We get that yearly, and we skipped it in the spring, so we're going to probably try and fit it in the fall. It just takes it out a couple days, which we're not really allowing a lot of use in there, so we'll be able to get that done. And then we'll scrape that old logo off the middle and just keep it logoless, and either put a logo on a wall where we can paint it or whatnot. But we have done some beautification things in the center, and like Christina was talking about the library and cleaning, and we've really buckled down on that, looking at safety and fixing some alarms that weren't working and things like that. So it's kind of nice that we don't have a lot of projects that are going to go on at Malley. At the recreation center, it's another story. There's quite a bit going on over there with trying to get things done, and got a new fire hydrant, some parking lot repairs. The roof was repaired. The pool decking on the pool, a lot of people have commented how nice that is, and it doesn't cut up their feet. So that's nice to hear from that group, especially those early morning swimmers. So it is nice that we're able to complete some of that work during this time. So there won't be a closure. I don't even know, in the spring, I'm not quite sure what we're going to get done. But I will speak out the CARES Act. I know I'm kind of bouncing back to the pandemic. I kind of forgot about. We do have some funds to look at the flooring at Malley to help us get some flooring that's easier to clean. And I'll keep you posted on that. So, and that was all with the CARES Act money, and that'll have to be done this year. So we'll keep you posted on that. Any
Good.
questions?
Yeah. Any other questions for Allison or Christina? Or any comments? Okay, thank you. Thank you both. And then under chairperson's choice, let's see. I know it's a confusing time, and I realize that there's work done to make the building safe, and we appreciate everything that's been done. And I know the numbers are down too, just naturally, the numbers are down. But when I was at the COA meeting on Monday, March 2nd, here at Malley, there was a representative from District 4, Kathleen Conti. She brought it to our attention, to everyone that was in attendance, that by 2030, we expect to double the number of seniors in Arapahoe County, and seniors being individuals over age 60. So it's just my thought that by keeping up our buildings, keeping our enthusiasm high, and keeping a steady course with not only the rec center, but Malley, we're going to be, Inglewood is going to be that much better prepared for what the forecast is. Okay, and I just thought I'd mention that. And then under trustee's choice, were there any comments that anyone would like to share?
Could I say something?
Please.
I just wanted to let Allison and Christina know, maybe they can pass it along to the rest of the staff there at Malley, that we really, really appreciate everything you guys are doing. to, you know, from Nancy getting those VOA lunches out to, you know, the fitness instructors doing their video for us and all that stuff. It's really, really helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. We will let them know.
Yes, I second what Bobby just said and want to show my appreciation, express my appreciation to all those that have been working so hard to keep everything going and clean and fix stuff and all. My only desire right now would be to find a good project to spend some of our money on.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
We have a nice amount of money right now. It'd be nice to find something that worthy of spending some on.
You want like a ninja room or something? Trampolines and...
No, I'm not anxious to blow it on anything, but it'd be nice to find a worthy project.
Yeah, I agree.
And then also, I think the Englewood Citizen magazine is just really, really, really good. And thank you, Allison, for coordinating that and organizing it. And because to me, it seems like a very big project, and to have that come out every quarter. So I look forward to reading. I look forward to reading it and looking at it. And I think it's just very, very well done.
Takes a lot of people, so they all do a good job of getting information in there.
Yeah, thank you. And then I'm wondering, Debbie or whoever, I'm wondering if we could maybe consider an updated roster for the trust fund. The last roster I have is 2018. And if we would maybe need to delete several names and include Christina and the like. So maybe that could be a consideration before our November meeting.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get that done.
Thank you. And then any other comments or questions at this time?
I have one for Rita. Great job what City Council's been doing, in my opinion. I think it's a tough time right now, obviously, and I think you've done an exceptional job. The City of Englewood has done an exceptional job in policy making and stuff like that. So
thank you very
Thank
much. I will pass that on to the rest of council. And I mean, I do appreciate it. It was very difficult to get used to doing Zoom meetings all the time. And we really do need to get back to City Hall, but you know, there is something to be said in not leaving home. But the truth is, city staff is there at City Hall taking care of business, and we greatly appreciate everything that everyone is doing to keep the city running. So thank you all very much, and it's good to see you all.
yeah, I guess my only negative quote or thing would be this new street cleaning deal is a joke. At best, it's a joke.
I have heard many comments about that, and I think that they're addressing some of it. But the truth is, I personally I'll bring that up also, because you know, we do street sweeping on trash day, and that's not a good idea either.
I agree. That's what mine was.
All right. Mine was too. So I appreciate that input.
It seemed like, why did we fix something that wasn't broken? You know what? We had some of the cleanest streets around prior to this.
Right. So, well, point well taken. I appreciate it, Jim.
Okay.
I'll pass it on.
That's my only complaint.
All right. And we're home more, so we realize what's going on. So,
Rita, I have a question. My question is, has there been any progress on the problem of multiple trash haulers in Inglewood? You know, we were addressing that some months ago.
they have appointed a board of people, and I think they just did this maybe just in the last month, that are looking, they've gotten a couple of RFPs, and we're looking at that. No decisions have been made. I know that that new board has been discussing about, you know, some of the things that are being required. So I don't really know a whole lot about it yet.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So are there any other questions or comments before we adjourn our meeting? Okay, so it is now 2:40, and I move that we adjourn our meeting.
I'll second you.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, opposed. And thank you, everyone, for your participation and presence.
Good to see everybody.
Yes, same here. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Great job, Joe.